Alright, hey guys, my name is Aaron. I go to Indiana University. I'm in ROTC, but I'm making this video to kind of help anyone out who's going to Fort Leonard Wood for basic training. Before I went to Fort Leonard Wood, there wasn't really too many videos I found that were helpful. I looked around and there was maybe one or two kind of gave me an idea, I guess, but I didn't really know what I was getting into compared to some of the other forts, like what to expect. So I thought I'd kind of make a video and just help anyone out who is kind of, about to go, has some questions or something like that. So, I guess some common things that people, and I thought too, thinking before you go, is that everyone graduates. You go there and you graduate, and even though it's going to be tough, yeah, you graduate. It's not the case. I'm not trying to scare you, but there were a lot of people who didn't graduate. They would send a lot of people home for different stupid things. There were people that got sent home for fraternization. People got sent home because they couldn't pass their PT tests, or well, pretty much just the last one. But I mean, you can get sent home from all kind of things, So when they tell you that something is, important, or you shouldn't do this, you should do this, definitely listen to it and don't think that you're just going to graduate. No matter what, take everything seriously. But other than that, really, a way to prepare for basic training. There's really not a lot of ways, but there are a few. One of them is being good at PT before you go. That's something you'll realize is a huge factor there, is your PT and BRM. Some people got sent home for PT and BRM, but you can't really work on BRM so much, and it's almost better that you don't, kind of, because they teach you their way, and their way helps. Like, I had never shot a weapon really before I went to basic training, went there and I qualified, and I did well in BRM. It was a whole lot of fun too, but just listen to what they say when it comes to BRM, so don't really worry about that, but just know you will be shooting rifles, and it's fun though. But the PT thing, I would definitely work on that as much as you can now. If you can do, let's say you're in my age group or whatever, you need, I think it was like 35 push-ups or something like that. It was easy, but let's say right now you can do 40 push-ups. That's the most you can do, right? Yeah, that's passing for now, but when you go there, they grade it a lot harder. So really, if you take off about 15 of those, that's realistically what you'll end up getting. So if you're getting 40 right now, you won't pass when you go there. But I mean, if you can't pass the PT test yet, don't freak out about it, because trust me, you'll work on that while you're there. Push-ups, especially sit-ups, you will work on too, but not as much. For us, we did a lot of push-ups. We hardly did sit-ups unless it was just during PT. The run you'll work on a lot too. So I mean, if you're close, I wouldn't stress it too much, but I would definitely try to work out as much as you can before you go. That helps out a lot. While you're there, if you're trying to build muscle, you need to do more push-ups, sit-ups, eat peanut butter. That's what everyone did when I went, and that's what I did too. I was passing all my stuff, I think, when I went there though, but I wanted to get more and get a higher PT score, so I ate peanut butter, and that helped a bunch. I jumped in my sit-ups a ton, jumped in push-ups a little bit too. So something that I'll kind of say, it all depends on the drill sergeants that you get. Fort Leonard Wood and Fort Benning are known to be the two hardest basic training forts to go to. It's usually those two that people think about and think are the hardest ones, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard. I went into it thinking the same attitude, like, as long as I go and do it, I'm gonna graduate. I went in there with that attitude, and I realized that it's really not like that. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. But you'll get through it. It's a lot of mental toughness. But something I'll say right now is, Fort Jackson, Fort Sill are known as kind of some of the easier ones, right? I mean, you probably asked friends and stuff, and that, I'm sure you've heard that. If you haven't by now, that's something that you'll hear in the future. but they're known as the easier ones. But in the end, it comes down to your cadre, your drill sergeants, your commander. There were people in Fort Leonard Wood who had it really easy. Even though it's known as one of the harder forts to be in, there were people in Fort Leonard Wood who got, put in an easy company where their commander was really light on them, the drill sergeant really light on them. However, that was not the case for me. I got put into a pretty tough company, but I'm happy I did. It's definitely better than, it's a better feeling of accomplishment when you finally are done. But so don't assume you're going to get the easiest. Plan for the worst, but you could get easy drill sergeant. So but that's kind of just that. So it's really just your own personal experience. Everyone is going to have something different. There are people who've gone to Fort Leonard Wood, I'm sure, who will say, it wasn't too bad. There are people who say, my experience is pretty easy, just pretty laid back almost. However, I'm going to tell you that wasn't the case for me. I was put into Echo Company. For those of you going to basic training, you won't be put in Echo Company because we're the last basic training class to go through for Echo Company. Right now, they have a AIT portion. I'm doing them separately. So right now they're going through an AIT portion. When they're done with that, I think they merge with Charlie Company. So if you go into Charlie Company for basic training, you might have the same drill sergeants that I had. But other than that, I won't really know your drill sergeants too well. So like I said, you can have something completely different than I did. But I'll tell you about my experience there, and hopefully it'll give you somewhat of an idea of what it's like there. Like I said, I just want to help out whoever is going to Fort Leonard Wood. I didn't have a whole lot of videos to watch. I don't really have too many family members in the military or anything like that, or really any friends that are in the military either, other than the ones I made that during basic training and ROTC now. So I wanted to help out some people. So this is kind of my experience. Fort Leonard Wood is known as being really fast with reception. If you haven't heard of reception yet, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a brief overview of it. It's basically like MEPS, but it's like on steroids. It's MEPS on steroids. You're there all day long, doing in-processing paperwork, medical, like physical things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you're sitting around. They won't smoke you or anything like that. They're not gonna, make you do push-ups or anything like that. But they can give you Article 15s, which are really bad. So don't think that it's just like something to blow off. You're gonna have a drill sergeant there, and they're gonna yell at you, but they're not gonna smoke you. But take that stuff seriously. Don't think that you can just do whatever because they can't make you do push-ups. They can do a lot worse than give you push-ups. So don't think that. Don't think that way. There are people that thought that way and then got Article 15s, and that was a really bad way to start off their military career. So don't do that. For me though, like I said, they're supposed to be fast at Fort Leonard with it, but they weren't with me. Probably because I was in the summer. I was there June 9th through August 22nd, not at reception, but all together. Reception basic training. I was at reception for 8 days though. It's only normally supposed to be around maybe 5 to a week at max, but Fort Leonard was known for having about 3 or 4 days and you're out. So you could only be there 3 or 4 days, or you could end up being there 8 days like me. It sucked. I would tell you right now, if you haven't heard this yet before, you'll hear this again too. Reception is the absolute worst part of everything. Basic training, your whole time there. Reception is the worst. It was hell, and I would rather go through red phase, 4 weeks that we had of red phase, rather than 1 week of reception, if that kind of gives you an idea. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but just know when you get done with reception, you're done with the hardest part. And I mean, you're sitting around all day, pretty much. For us, there are times we stand in formation for like 4 hours straight, or we'd sit on these benches for like 6 hours straight. So super boring. But so when you get done with that, you will drive to Fort Leonard Wood. We drove on these buses He was really intimidating. Of course, everything you've seen. If you've seen anything on shark attacks or their forts or something like that. That was probably my most memorable moment, I would say, of basic training, was the drive there and then getting dropped off. Something I thought, I have 3 brothers, and so I thought going in, like, oh, that won't be that bad having someone yell at me. I'm pretty used to that. Like, my brothers and I make fun of each other all the time, If you think that way, there's nothing wrong with it, I guess. But I'm just telling you that you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with having that mindset, I guess. I should say it didn't really make sense. There's nothing wrong with having that mindset, but you will see that it is different. It's not the same. You've never had anyone yell at you like this before. You've never really experienced anything like this, I'm sure, for the most part. So the main thing is you're going to get through it. That's a huge part of it. It's called 0 day or shark attack, whatever you want to call it. You'll get through it. Just listen to what they say, but know that on shark attack day, 0 day, whatever, there's going to be something wrong. No matter how perfect you are, no matter if your uniform is absolutely perfect. That's what they'd yell at us for a lot on 0 day. Was our uniform would be messed up in some small, little minor way that they'd go nuts on you for. They're going to find something that they don't like, something that they can yell at you about. And if they can't find something, they will literally just scream in your face. We had a drill sergeant that would do that almost the entire cycle. That if he couldn't find anything wrong, he would just scream at you. He wouldn't say any words, he'd just scream. So just know that you can't be right in that situation. There's nothing wrong with that, with what you're doing usually. So don't be hurt by it or anything like that. That goes for all of basic. Don't be hurt by them yelling at you. Don't take anything personally. You'll get split up in your companies. For us, it was random. It could be different for you though. You'll probably know some people depending on how long you're there for reception, you'll probably know a few people already, possibly in your company, maybe not though. Let's see, we got split up. After that, dinner, the first probably week, you either are or you're going to be extremely close to throwing up at every meal you eat at, because it's not because the food is bad. Actually, at Fort Leonard, the food was amazing. That's something that most people like to hear about. The food is great. You pretty much eat at a restaurant every day. It's really that good. But you have 10 minutes to eat all your food and drink 2 drinks. And so I remember the first week, I was really close to throwing up multiple times. Some of the times it was because other people were throwing up around me, but people would throw. The first week, expect you're going to be sitting next to someone who throws up eventually, pretty much. There was a time when a girl next to me threw up, and then the girl in front of her threw up, and then someone down the table who saw it threw up too, and it made all of them throwing up made me want to throw up because it was disgusting, So I guess just kind of expect that. That's something you should know. Let's see. So the meals, red phase will suck, but like I said, you've been through the hardest part, is reception. All you got to do is last through red phase. It's mental at that point. Yeah, you'll do PT. Yeah, you'll be a little bit sore, but if you're working out like you should before basic, that's really not you'll be used to being sore. You know what I'm saying? You'll already have that experience of being sore, so that won't even really be a problem. But it's from that point on, it's really just a lot of mental until you get to about white phase. Now I'll kind of explain that, I guess. A lot of red phase is mental though. So you get to white phase, you'll phase, it'll be a big deal, everyone will be real happy, and it's really cool. But then you start BRM. BRM is real fun, but it can be tedious though too. I went during the summer and it was super hot, and actually I take that back. Fort Leonard, when it doesn't get that hot, it gets humid. I'm from Indiana, pretty much born and raised in Indiana. And we have the similar temperatures, and Missouri and Indiana are really similar in temperature. It's the humidity that will get you. You won't expect it to, but Missouri is very, very humid. So the air is really thick. But so when you're out on the ranges, you'll be out pretty much all day, and it is a lot of fun, especially when you're actually the one up there shooting. But you'll wait in long lines to do that. That's a huge thing in basic too. You'll be in lines for a lot of stuff. The main thing that would get people is they would kind of start, like, even though the drill sergeants would start relaxing just a little bit, and the main thing is there's just less of them. Like in red phase, you're always by a drill sergeant everywhere you go. But in white phase, they'll kind of like back off a little bit, and they're sometimes a little like nicer. They don't yell at you as much, I guess I should say. But the thing that would get people was they would relax too. Don't relax. Yeah, in your mind you're a little more at ease because they're not so heavy on you, but don't relax like the policies and stuff that they teach you. Like don't, even in blue phase, don't talk to them unless you're at parade arrest and you've requested permission to speak. It's that simple. Doesn't matter what phase you're in, doesn't matter what time it is or whatever, you always do that. And little things like that, like those type of things, you'll learn those as you go, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but things like that you don't relax, because that's when they get on you about stuff. Even in blue phase, like everything would seem fine, and the drill sergeants would be all cool with you and stuff, and then someone would talk to them not at parade arrest and they'd go nuts, and then they'd be pissed off the rest of the day, and they'd use that against everyone. The rest of the day they'd punish you or something like that. So don't be that person. Just remember what they teach you and keep using that. Let's see. So BRM, it's fun. You just got to be relaxed though when you're qualifying. Don't get frustrated. They'll tell you all this stuff too, but I mean, I'm just kind of reiterating, I guess. Don't get frustrated or whatever. But then white phase, will go by. You'll go into blue phase. For us, they didn't really back off as much in blue phase as I thought they would. The jump from red phase to white phase, the difference is much bigger than from white phase to blue phase. So, but it's still, they're a little bit more relaxed on you once you get to blue phase. But that's when you'll have, or you should have your 16K ruck march, your Nick at Night, and your last like repel tower and some stuff like that. Something I would recommend for all the ruck marches, and this is what I did, because I wasn't used to wearing boots when I got into basic training, was where you'll get issued green socks, and then you'll get issued these black, like I don't remember what they call them, like these black dress socks, they look like dress socks. Wear them both when you go on any of the ruck marches. Wear them both. And if you can, I would highly recommend getting baby powder too. You should be allowed to get that at the PX in reception. I would get that. Bring that with the friction one. There's several different kinds, but get the friction one and put that in your socks. Especially if you're someone like me who wasn't used to wearing boots before basic training. That helps a lot. Pretty much the ruck marches, they're not bad. You just have to, it's a lot of mental, like I said, a lot of basic training is mental, but those are definitely mental things. As long as your feet are okay, as long as you don't have any blisters or anything like that, and your feet are fine, it's all mental. It's just, you one foot in front of the other, just keep going, play music in your head. Before you go to basic training, try to memorize a few songs. Try to have, an idea of some songs in your head, so that way when you go on ruck marches, you have something you can, say in your head or sing in your head that will help you keep going along. For me, it was a lot of Eminem songs. I'm a big Eminem fan. So I'd listen to, like Sing for the Moment in my head or whatever, and a few other songs really are the song that got me through the ruck marches. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something else. Okay, so Nick at Night, how it'll work. For us, we combined one of our FTXs with another and just made it really extended. But then we went on a ruck march. You'll go on your ruck march, usually either you'll ruck to the FTX site and back, and that'll be your ruck march, or you'll get trans to your FTX, and then ruck march back to your company, which will be about 16K, and that's what we did. We got trans out to our last FTX, and then ruck march back to the company, and that was 16K. Our ruck march back to the NIC course. So then that was our 16K. Once you get to NIC, that was probably one of the worst nights for me in basic training. It really sucked, but it might be different for me than for you because I had athlete's foot really, really bad, and I was trying to hide it pretty much the entire 10 weeks I was there because I didn't want to be pulled from training and then not graduate. So for me, the ruck march was awful, and not in the sense that I was like tired, in the sense that it just hurt really, really bad. And then NIC was the same thing. You know, you go straight into NIC. You don't go home or go to sleep or anything like that. NIC is not scary at all. If you're scared of NIC, you have the wrong perception of NIC at night. It is, they're shooting live rounds, but they are shooting like so far over your head. Like, I mean, obviously you don't want to stand up because then you're going to get in trouble and probably not graduate because you don't complete that course, but you don't need to be scared because they're not going to shoot you. I mean, it sucked. It was just a really long night. We left, I think, we started the ruck march at about 8:30 at night, and then we didn't get back to the company. That was like completing NIC and the ruck march. We didn't get back to the company until probably I think it was either like 7 or 8 that next morning. So it was like 12 hours or whatever of just straight training, which, you're really tired, and you'll be really, really tired, trust me. But you just have to push yourself. You have to have something that you can kind of think about that'll get you through it. I'm really close to my little brother, so I think of him, and I think of the fact that, I don't want to go home without being able to tell him that I, accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So that's what I used. Everyone kind of had their own mental way of motivating themselves. That was mine. So you need to find yours, whatever it is. But so you'll finish that, you'll go back to the or you'll probably have your values tag ceremony. I don't know if other companies did that. We did. We had like our values tag ceremony where you get like this little thing that goes on your ID tags, your dog tags. They have the seven Army values. You'll learn that while you're there. But that was a pretty cool ceremony. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool because you shake hands with like all of the higher ups that like you didn't see all of basic training because they're way out of your league and everything, and so you finally see them and you're just like, whoa, like it was really cool. But anyway, so then we got trans back at least. Went to sleep and then we had our warrior dinner. That was pretty cool, but ours was cut short a little bit, but that'll be a cool thing that you'll have. After that, honestly, things get really, really boring. You have the rappel tower. Sorry. You have the rappel tower, but then after that, things are super boring. I mean, you are sitting around doing stupid little like jobs and stuff. I mean, there are things that need to be done, I guess. So, at that point, you'll kind of understand how the company works and how everything works. So you'll know that it's necessary to do them, but it just sucks to have to do them, So they'll have you guys go and do like little details, cleaning things a lot, cleaning your bay. You'll do things like that until graduation, pretty much. Once you're done with that, you're almost done. But still follow the rules, like I said. Don't ease up on that kind of stuff. But I think that so far that's really all I have for you. At least that I can think of. If you have any questions, though, feel free to ask. Like I said, I'm making this video to help anyone out. I don't think I really even made a video on here before, but I thought I'd make one to help someone out. There wasn't too many videos before I went to Fort Leonard that I thought helped me. So anything I can do to help, I am in college right now. I am at Indiana University in ROTC, so I'm a little bit busy. So if you comment or, I don't know, reply or something like that, I might not see it right away, but I will see it, and I'll, try to answer any questions if anyone has any. So, but yeah, I hope anyone who goes to Fort Leonard Wood, I hope this helped. I hope you get through it. Like I said, most importantly, PT and keeping a strong positive attitude. It's a lot of it is mental. Just know that a lot of it is mental, and just know that when you're done, it'll be a great accomplishment that you have. I'm really happy that I went through and I did it and I accomplished it. So are the rest of the people that did it with me as well when I was there. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, comment or whatever. But yeah, good luck.